Welcome to Crypto Johnny. Today we have a special guest on the show, the PittsburghHODLr. He just finished and completed his book. So he's here to talk about it and give us a little bit of what it's about. And we're going to learn a little bit about him. So you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's R.L. Breyer. I'm a friend of John's here. And we've met through the cryptoverse, I guess. And it's been a good friendship so far, learning about crypto together and just talking about this stuff. But I'm from close to Pittsburgh, and I've been involved in crypto since like 2010. That's when I first learned about it, and I didn't really pay too close attention to it yet, but then I got into it in like 2012. I immersed myself into the space more. So I've been involved in crypto since then, and the blockchain technology behind it.
So what actually got you involved in cryptocurrency? What sparked your interest?
Okay, yeah. I was always sort of into my early 20s. When I got into my early 20s, I was pretty involved in politics, and that was around the time of the banking crisis in 2009 that Bitcoin came out. So that sort of all culminated into the desire for an alternative to what we had. So I think that's where my interest sparked or came from.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm going to ask you a couple different questions here. So what made you write the book? What made you want to put it all out there and get your ideas together and write a book? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, I've always enjoyed writing. So, and kind of teaching my friends and other people about what I've learned. It's just something that some people enjoy doing that. They like sharing what their knowledge or what they think they have, to share. So I put in my passions together basically, and then I saw a lot of people just getting into cryptocurrency and blockchain this year and the end of last year, second half of last year. A lot of people were, being taken advantage of, and they didn't really understand the entire premise of the space and why it's really a completely different alternative to what we have today. A lot of these are decentralized, so I wanted to make sure that people understand the technology and importance of what makes them up. It's just not that, it's some fad, that people are going to get into now and just it'll be going away soon, or it'll be here to stay. I mean, some of these projects will definitely disappear, but the leaders in the space will probably, they'll be around for a long time.
Absolutely. And what's your take on blockchain technology as a whole?
I think it's going to be I've said this before, Internet 2.0. A lot of people think that, I think, but the underlying technology of blockchain is it has to be, in my opinion, a blockchain, that's tied to a productive cryptocurrency. So I think blockchains, just for the sake of blockchains, are just basically a gimmick. They really won't have much utility other than just the name and convincing people that they're more secure or something. But really, I don't think they have the security without the network support. So the underlying, you have the different applications. Even though cryptocurrency is just an application of blockchain, I think it makes a particular blockchain more valuable and more secure.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, like for the general mass, whenever they hear blockchain, I think they would think of like cryptocurrency, and I don't think they think of like everything else that could really go into it and onto it and how it could be used in other ways. I think for the most part, a lot of people hear blockchain and think, oh, crypto.
Yeah, since that's like the first, I think it was like necessary too for that to be the first application. It just seemed natural. People love money. So I guess, it just gets people excited about the entire space. There was a need for it, and the market met the desire, I think. So I just look at it like a free market like blockchain's like a good or something on the market, and it was just met by Satoshi Nakamoto, who was the creator of Bitcoin. Whoever he is, nobody really knows. I mean,
Yeah,
there might be a handful of people that know, but no one's talking.
I was gonna say, I wonder if that'll ever come out in the media. Wonder if they'll ever find out who he is or who they are
I
or
think
whatever.
I think it was, at least they tried to say it was Hal Finney and a lot of things I saw, who was a programmer and stuff from California, but he had MS, I think, and he passed away. So I don't know. I don't know really what the who real Satoshi Nakamoto or group of people were, but it's interesting to speculate.
Absolutely. It's definitely one of those little rabbit holes that you can, try to go down.
Yeah.
So more about the book. So you want to give us like a general overview of it?
Yeah, the general overview I would say is I tried to break it down into like small chapters and talk about different aspects of money and blockchain and why they are why it just makes sense to do money on blockchain as an application, and how we have a decentralized, we have the two aspects of the world, the decentralized world and the centralized world on the outside, and then inside of the applications we have the same parity. So it's important that people don't just jump into like centralized projects, and they actually get into decentralized stuff in the same way. And I view the same aspect of in society. I think it's better if things are decentralized.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, as much as the book I've read so far, I'm about halfway through it, and I've definitely learned a lot. Like I said, I have a good general basic knowledge of blockchain, cryptocurrency, and of course, with your help and everybody else, I understood a lot more. I started reading the book, and it's like, it really puts things into perspective as far as, blockchain, decentralization, centralization. And so it's definitely a book I'm going to reread when I'm finished, just to kind of,
I'm glad you learned some stuff. I appreciate it.
no, absolutely. It's something that I think anybody who's getting into cryptocurrency should read, just to get that knowledge. And if you have to read it again to really, kind of because it is technology that you're reading about. So if you're not a tech person, it's kind of hard to put some of the things together. But the way you explain it, I feel like helps out a lot for anybody who is not tech savvy and trying to really learn about cryptocurrency and the blockchain and what everything really is, and trying to put it together.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think I would have failed if I didn't write it for like newcomers and the laymen, because I think those are the people that need the help the most. So
Absolutely.
the fact that you said that makes me happy that everybody can read it, or newer people in the space can read it, like you said.
No, definitely, especially especially now and where we're at right now with cryptocurrency and the blockchain. It's so new that people are, well, it's new to the public. People just, they need, like, reading this type of book is what needs to be out right now. Not something that goes
there's
into
just a lot
crazy detail.
There's a lot of scams and stuff on the websites, and the lending programs got everyone with BitConnect, and I just didn't want to see people going down that route. I try to add some things about the teams and the creator, and just things. Just do your research, sort of stuff. How to do that and how to go about that.
And that's what I preach too. I tell everybody, I say, always research. Say, oh, well, what should I invest in?
Yeah, anyone who's telling you
knowledge, invest in knowledge, education.
Yes.
Just go read about all these projects.
Yeah, anyone who's really promising you returns or anything like that is not your friend. In my opinion, they're not doing you any favors. So
Absolutely.
Just do your own research and make your own your own decisions. I think.
Especially with all those mining programs out there, those cloud miners and.
Yeah.
Cool. So how do you, let me ask you one more here. How do you see blockchain technology or cryptocurrency, or both of them, impacting everyday life in the future?
I think it'll be an underlying thing in like most things that we do. It'll be just sort of like second nature. Not that we'll actually be pressing a button to use blockchain per se or something. It'll be like turning on the computer to use the Wi-Fi. It'll just be there. It'll be it'll probably, I think you'll see a lot of cars, for example, using it to secure their platforms. You know, a lot of the cars today are hackable, so I think that'll be an important aspect of the technology. I think a lot of different aspects of companies that need to secure their platforms or businesses will use it. Cars is one. I think we'll see it in medicine a lot too. I think eventually everyone's entire life is probably going to be on the blockchain. From like, I think I even mentioned that in the book. It'll be like from your birth to your burial. Basically, you know, you'll be able to look and see like what you did on what day. I bet at some point.
Everybody's going to be a piece of the blockchain. It's true.
I think it could end up like that. Yeah.
You even see movies like that, you know, they go back and they look at their memories and all this, and, you know.
I mean, it already, in that aspect of being able to, like, look and see stuff, I mean, so you already sort of have a history on the internet, so.
Yeah, you know. No, absolutely.
Yeah, but the decentralization of the whole thing is why, you know, if you want to have some sort of, like, if you don't want to live on the blockchain your entire life, that's why it's important to pick the right ones. And also, those centralized ones probably won't serve any real utility to consumers, so I don't really think they'll be around long.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the difference between Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum for the cryptocurrency, for anybody who's new into the crypto space? I just said those three just because they seem to be the main three. I mean, you got Coinbase, yeah, they have Bitcoin Cash, and they have supposedly they're supposed to put on Ethereum Classic, but the main three people know when they hear or think of when they hear cryptocurrency: Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. So what would you say is the difference between, like, sorting those out?
Bitcoin was the first mover, so it was the original old school blockchain and cryptocurrency. Came out in 2009, and it has a total supply of let's see here, is it 84? Yeah, 84 million. Am I getting that right? No. Right, yeah, that's right. Right? Yeah, 84 million. No, that's Litecoin. I'm blanking out on that right now. What is the total supply? It's 4 times. So it's 21 million Bitcoin, 84 million Litecoin. Sorry, the dog in the background threw me there. And then so if we're going by supply, and if you go to Ethereum has an infinite supply, so there's no cap on Ethereum. So the difference is, and Ethereum's more of is based upon smart contracts. So while they're still a cryptocurrency, their appeal is that they're going to try to do like all sorts of different smart contracts with businesses and whatnot on there. Secure or land deal, escrow, everything. You're gonna like they claim they're gonna do everything on there. So they're promising a lot, and I don't know if they're gonna ever be able to come through on their promises. But Bitcoin, obviously, like I said, it has 21 million supply and is currently, you know, around $6,500 USD. And then you got Litecoin, which is actually 4 times faster than Bitcoin, but there's 4 times the supply, so it has 84 million coins. And Litecoin is, like I said, 4 times faster, and it's supposed to be like the payment coin, in my opinion. I've always been sort of a Litecoin advocate, and their creator is Charlie Lee, and I think that he's a pretty good captain of the crypto ship or whatever you want to call it. So I'm pretty optimistic on the Litecoin space, but also like we said earlier, this isn't, you know, any financial advice or anything.
No,
this is
absolutely
just my opinion. But they're all 3 of those are pretty good. You know, they all have good teams and they're all good like projects in the space.
Cool.
I'm also interested in STEEM too, if I can mention it real fast.
Absolutely.
STEAM's another cryptocurrency that I mentioned in the book, and it runs on the STEEM blockchain. and there's a website called steemit.com where you can actually sign up there and start earning in cryptocurrency. So you can write articles, do your vlogs there, curate content. And I'm already seeing like people in some of the poorest countries in the world feed their families on that website. So that's pretty cool to see.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, well, there you go, I guess, as far as, the future with blockchain technology.
Yeah, it's already like
it's already started and began,
Yeah, it's already feeding people, so I think that's pretty cool.
Doesn't isn't that connected to the other one that's similar to YouTube? I can never remember the name of it.
Oh, DLive?
The other one, not DLive.
DTube. There's DTube, there's DTube, DLive. Those are applications that run on the STEEM blockchain as well.
Okay. There was one that starts with a P also.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Most of them are like,
okay.
They
so
try to like
DTube
stick with
then.
it probably was DTube, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I signed up for that one and I signed up for the other one, and it had to do with like the STEAM and the coins and everything. And
yeah, STEAM is I think one of the best cryptocurrencies, and it's the transactions on there are almost instantaneous. They're very fast. So like when you create content on Steam, when you post that content, you're actually verifying transactions. So you're actually like part of the process. Not only you're not like in typical stuff, you'd have the miners confirming the transactions or whatever, but they kind of use your users like that. It's interesting.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so here's one for you. What's your favorite cryptocurrency and why?
I still say I'm on the Litecoin ship. It looks like you are too with your hat.
Oh,
I love that
hat.
I love that hat.
I agree.
Yeah, I think Litecoin is. I just see Litecoin. They're like that slow and steady character, or whatever. They're the ones that like everyone kind of just sleeps on Litecoin. I feel like, and they have. Is the best. I think they have as good of a team as anyone, and they have some of the most passionate backing. Like the people that love Litecoin really love Litecoin, and they make. I just see like they make, and they seem to be some of the best educated people in the space too. People that have been around a little longer. So I just Litecoin was the second one that came out. So it's been around since 2012. It's been tried and tested. And I just think it's a little bit of a better Bitcoin. I don't see Bitcoin going away, though. Bitcoin will be the king for a long time, I think. But Ethereum is definitely kind of on its tail. It's got a lot of people excited, too. So it'll be interesting to see if Ethereum or one of the other ones actually catch it in the near future.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of people who got on Litecoin, some have gotten in it when it was like $300 and they're freaking out. And,
yeah.
Well, just, they really have to research and see the big picture for everything. It's not something that's going to be worth, X amount of dollars in, 2 weeks. It's a long-term thing. It's like a 401k in a sense.
Yeah.
As far as holding on to it right now, like you want to think long-term, right?
Yeah. While the value is still being established because there's no real market. Right. It's still really volatile. All these things are so new. It's like getting in on the internet in 1990 and being able to buy a part of the internet is the way I've kind of like looked at it. So
yes, back when that whole internet, what was it called?
If you're going to view it as an asset, but like it has so much utility. You can use it as a currency. You could use it as a store of value. It just depends on which one you want to get into, which use case is the one that you're gonna employ yourself,
Right. I mean,
you could have you could have a few different coins for different utilities in your life.
Absolutely, especially in the future. Who knows what's going to happen? So I'm holding on to these.
yeah.
But
it's definitely smart to I think at least hold some yourself, even though, like I said, not investment advice. Yeah, because if you look at just the trend of fiat money and paper money, national currencies only last typically like 50 years, I think, is the average, and area of 50 years. So it just doesn't hurt to have a different means to do exchange.
Absolutely. That's the same thing with the stock market. People would invest in stocks, and it's like, okay, well, they'll get a 401k and that's it. But, do you know where your money's going into? Or, you want to have, like you said, a plethora of different, avenues. Like you said, either another means of spending your money or another means of an investment. It's always better to, not just have one thing in your basket, but to have a bunch of different things in there. Again, it's like you said, it's not investing advice. It's just, we're not telling you what to invest in, but, just trying to get good tips out there.
Yeah, exactly. Like the premise of the book is decentralization. So, you don't want to centralize your money either. I would think in like the bigger picture of like what you're in, you would probably want to have more. I know this, you want more diversity in your portfolio or your
Yes.
blockfolio. In this case, your blockfolio. So like five, maybe five is a good number to have if I would, just an idea,
Oh, yeah.
but nothing. Holding dollars, holding paper money that is just a promissory note is. It just seems so old-fashioned these days. We're living in such a world economy, and then you have the rate of the transactions. You have to worry about the the counterparty risk, the intermediary slowing you down.
Right.
So what if you're doing international business with somebody, selling them something, or you have some sort of service they're using and then it gets shut down. That shouldn't be it shouldn't
Right.
exist in 2018. So these are just ways to completely, I think it's going to speed up everything. It should speed up production exponentially in like numerous regards. Things should just be happening so much faster in the future.
Absolutely.
The rate of everything.
I think the blockchain will really have to, have a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
We'll see a lot of different things speed up as far as, like you said, money transactions and sending something from here to, transaction-wise from here to literally the other side of the world will be like, split second.
Yeah, like even if you needed like footage from some town in Asia or something, some city in
Yeah.
Asia, and you're talking to some guy on the internet and he can get you that footage. Well, he can send it right over to you on the blockchain, and then you have it, and you pay him right through there. So
There you go.
it's
As far as usage of the blockchain, there you go.
yeah, I mean, there's just so many different ways it's going to be used.
I got one more question for you here. Actually, two. One is going to be, as far as Bitcoin, how much do you think it could be worth in the future? I'm not saying what do you think it's going to be, where I'm saying what do you think the possibilities are in the future, whether it be 2020, 2025, whatever. We're not going to put a year on it, but what do you think the possibility could be?
Honestly, I think someday it could hit the. I know that John McAfee came out and said that he thought that Bitcoin was going to eat, or he was going to eat his own. If it did, I'm not going to be vulgar on here. If it didn't reach $1 million in 2020, I think was the date. So I think that he could be right. It could reach $1 million. I have thought this for a long time, but I don't know if he got the date right. I think it's going to be later than that. I could definitely see it being worth $150,000 in 2020. I could see that, but if you do look at the charts, which is incredible, he is actually like it's not that crazy to think he could be right. Like the charts say that he could still be on pace to actually get that. So a lot of people are like calling him out at we're at 6,500. They think he's like a complete lunatic, and but it could happen still. It could definitely still happen. I would say, like, at the end of this year, I think that we can still see like 35K maybe. It just depends if the run happens or not that we're all expecting. Whenever we start to go back up, we may have just hit the bottom on this last capitulation, but who knows? But it is fun to talk about. What do you think? And what do you think in the price?
I agree with you. I think it could hit, $1 million. I don't know what year, but I mean, I think it's very possible. And as far as like where it's at now, there was one thing I looked at, I saw I forget what you call it. As far as looking at the charts, I saw a triple, like where it went down, it hit around like where it's at now, and this was a while ago on the year chart, and then it did it again, and now it's on the third time. So usually it goes in. Usually, as far as like forex trading, I know when I was looking into that, that third touch is usually the last one before it turns around and starts a bull run. But like I said, I mean, we'll see. Time will tell whether it does that or not, or if it continues down lower to maybe test another area. But I mean, I don't know. It's very interesting though to look at, and to sit there and say, oh, well, I wonder what's going to happen. It's fun to follow the charts. You can't be always like worried and crazy. It's like you just got to embrace it and kind of go with the flow, so to speak. That's why.
Yeah, nobody got rich overnight in this space.
Absolutely.
The only people that got rich are the people that had the vision early,
Mm-hmm.
and then people can still make money here if they hold. And I'm in it for the technology as much as the potential of profits, but just don't get greedy and think you're going to come in and become a millionaire overnight.
Right.
The only a few people really got totally wealthy in the beginning because these were like the smartest people in my opinion.
Absolutely.
They knew what was going. They saw the writing on the wall with the money and the bailouts and all that, and they understood technology and they understood economics and just a lot. You have to understand so many different aspects to really get your hands and wrap your hands around the whole concept or whatever, or wrap your head around it. But just over time, you start to like put it together. I think is the best way I would say, best way to put it. Just take your time. Don't get too up and down in the space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, zoom out on the charts because if you zoom out on the charts, you'll feel better about
absolutely.
the lows.
1 year chart. You'll find me on no 5-minute or weekly chart on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'll look here.
Not right now, at least. Maybe in a couple months.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, I've always said, like a couple friends and stuff ask me. They says, "Oh, well, should I invest in it and this and that? Oh, how much should I put?" I tell them, like, I'm not going to give you investing advice. That's not what this is. But I say, like, if you have a little bit extra after your bills are paid, after you put money away for savings, after, you get your necessities, your life necessities, throw, a little bit of what you have left over into, whatever, whatever cryptocurrency you believe in. Like, research it first and then just throw a little bit towards it, I mean,
I think that's good advice for your friends, man.
Yeah,
I've tried to do that with mine as well.
Yeah, it's some of them that they just got to read, I try to get them to research it, read, and people just don't have time or don't have an interest to, and then they see people make a ton of money and they're like, oh, no, that's not why you want to get into it. It's a lot bigger than just the currency itself. So
yeah, now that a lot of the institutional money's coming in, it's definitely not going away. Like these people are going to want to get this thing rolling now. The big money is getting in.
Yeah, all those big, we'll just say that, all the big money starting to come in. So starting to trickle in. One more question about the book here. How did the cover come along? What made you, what is that cover? Explain the cover to us.
My friend, I worked with my friend in Germany to do the cover actually, and we were just talking one day and about, he said he could do the cover for me, and we actually met through crypto as well, blockchain, crypto, currency, and I think he's pretty skilled. We just started talking about what sort of ideas I had, and he had some ideas, and it just sort of came together. I think a lot of people have liked the cover so far.
Yeah, I like it. I think it was very creative.
It's just it's just sort of different, like, different look in the space, I guess. He's into like that kind of graffiti art, and so am I. So I just thought it was kind of cool.
Well, it came out pretty nice, so I love it. But I just want to say, if is there anything else that you want to say to everybody before we wrap it up?
Go over to my Steam It if you're on Steam It. Sign up for Steam It. I'm a PittsburghHODLr, one word, HODLr, PittsburghHODLr, and get a hold of me if you want to get a copy of this book. That's my email as well, PittsburghHODLr@gmail. I think John's gonna maybe put that in the description.
Yes,
okay.
I'm gonna put all that stuff in the description as well. You can send me that, guys. Everything will be in the description. If you were interested in the book and you want to check it out, you'll be able to talk to. You can go ahead and buy this book if you want from him. I'll have everything in the description. I'll put his Steam It in there so you can go check it out, and hopefully you guys can learn a little bit and educate yourselves, because it's definitely a good place to start if you haven't already.
I really appreciate you having me on, Johnny Crypto.
Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it, man.
It. All right, man.
We'll have to do it again sometime.
Definitely. We'll make it a thing. Absolutely. So
all right.
A lot of knowledge we'd like to share. A lot of knowledge over there.
Definitely, man. Have fun.
All right. You too. You take it easy. Thank you.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right.